Okay, so we are moving to a second part of a higher order partial differential equation. So the last session we started, not last session, last 2-3 session actually we are doing higher order homogeneous partial differential equation. So I will write it the difference between homogeneous and non-homogeneous first. Okay. The first of all, we have the general form of a partial differential equation is in the form of phi of d comma d dash of z is equal to f of xy. So this is the general form of a PDE. Now this phi of d comma d dash is said to be homogeneous if the degree of each term is the same. If the degree of each term is the same. So I will write the example for that. It is a d square plus 2d d dash plus d dash square. So this is a phi of d comma d dash. If that auxiliary equation is homogeneous throughout, you'll observe the degree of the first term is a 2 because d raised to 2 is there. Degree of second term is also 2 because d raised to 1 and d dash raised to 1. So 1 plus 1 is 2. So the degree is 2 and third term have the degree 2. So this is a homogeneous partial differential equation. Say RHS is like this. So this is one of the example. This is one of the example I given of a homogeneous higher order PDE. This is actually a second order degree 2. Okay. But in a non-homogeneous case, the degree of each term not necessarily same. We may have like this d square plus say 2d, okay, d square plus 2d uh, plus d dash of z. Now you'll observe, yes, can you tell me what is the degree of first term?
2,
2. Degree of second term?
1,
1. And last term?
1.
That is also 1. Very good. So the degree of the last two term is 1. Okay. And the degree of this first term is 2. So this is a non-homogeneous PDE. This is a non-homogeneous PDE. Okay. So that is the first thing. Now we have two types of higher order partial differential equation. One is a homogeneous and second is a non-homogeneous. Non-homogeneous is the most general case. Uh, if you learn the method of calculating CF for non-homogeneous, the same way you will get the CF of homogeneous also. CF of that homogeneous function also. So only the important difference is only in the CF. The method of a PI is the same. The method of calculating PI is the same for homogeneous as well as non-homogeneous. Take homogeneous function or non-homogeneous function, the method of PI is the same. Okay. So just I will come to the CF part. So for writing a CF, the general factor is this one. Now the factor is a D minus MD dash minus C. So we should write phi of D comma D dash in the form of this one. In the form of this one. Once we get this form, then the CF corresponding to this term is e raised to cx, and f of y plus mx, Okay, so this is the case for writing the CF for a non-homogeneous. For homogeneous also, if you use this one, you will get the same answer because the factors of homogeneous are in the form of d minus md dash only. This plus c or minus c will never come there. For example, already I shown one auxiliary equation, say d square plus 2d d dash, say plus d dash square is equal to 0. You will observe this is in the form of d plus d dash bracket square. So the factor in this case is d plus d dash only. So if we compare with this one, if we compare this with this one, you will observe the value of m. The value of m is a minus 1. The value of m is a minus 1 and value of c is a 0. The value of c is a 0. Okay, this is for this example I'm saying, comparing with non-homogeneous actually. Even though it is a homogeneous, we are comparing with non-homogeneous to show that the answer will come same. So if m is a minus 1, c is a 0, what should be the corresponding CF term? The CF term is e raised to 0x. E raised to 0x is 1. and f of y minus x. So f of y minus x will be the term. But we already say that same factor is repeating. So we'll say f1 of y plus x plus x f2 of y minus x, that way. So that way we are writing in homogeneous. Okay. So there are different ways. For homogeneous, generally we get the roots by putting d is equal to m and d dash is equal to 1. If you put d is equal to 1 and d dash is equal to 1 in this equation, we get the equation like m plus 1 bracket square equal to 0, m plus 1 bracket square equal to 0. So m is a minus 1 repeated factor, and you get this CF. But exactly same CF, yes, you can get by this formula. Now, what is the important part for non-homogeneous? You should remember this factor d minus md dash minus c, and corresponding CF is a e raised to cx f of y plus mx. Okay, that's only the change. Otherwise, whatever the methods we learned for getting the CF and PI of a homogeneous, mainly the PI methods, we are going to use it for non-homogeneous also. I'll show you the question, then it becomes more clear. So here is the example. The example is a d square minus d into d dash plus d of z equal to e raised to x. So step number 1, we are interested to calculate ZC, okay, complementary solution or complementary function for Z. So you should tell me how to get a factors here, how to get a factors of auxiliary equation. Yes, anyone? What are the factors here? Yes, I think Swapnil is saying d is 1, m and d dash equal to 1. That's not correct now, Swapnil. Is it a Swapnil? Okay, let I check who is. Yes, Swapnil. Swapnil, you are not correct. This one is only, we can do it for the homogeneous PD. This is not homogeneous. You will observe the degree of first term is 2. Degree of second term is also 2. Degree of third term is 1. Okay, so whenever it is a non-homogeneous partial differential equation, you cannot solve by homogeneous. I already told non-homogeneous is a general case. You can solve each and every example by non-homogeneous. That's okay. Okay, but reverse is not possible. Got it? So what are the factors? What are the factors? It is very straightforward. You will observe d can be a common. D can be a common, and we left with the d minus d dash plus 1. Okay, so this is the way we should start in auxiliary equation. So first of all, I written d square minus dd dash plus d is equal to 0. We can take d as a common. We can take a d as a common. And now when we take d as a common, it left d in bracket d minus d dash plus 1 equal to 0. But I have a mistake here. Comparing this with d minus md dash minus c, there should be a minus c. This is not plus. Minus c, then the CF is e raised to cx f of y plus mx. So can you tell me what should be ZC then? With respect to first factor and with respect to second factor. Yes, what should be ZC? What is the value of m and c in the first factor? What is the value of m and c in the first factor when we have only d as a factor?
0, 0.
So both are 0. So e raised to 0x f of y plus 0x. So you can write only f of y. Is it? This is f1 of y for the first factor. Plus, now what is the value of c here for the second factor? If you compare with the minus c, it should be minus 1. So e raised to minus x, because e raised to cx f of y plus mx, and value of m, the value of m is 1. That about ZC. Z complementary solution is f1 of y plus e raised to minus x f2 of y plus x. Is it clear? Is it clear?
No, sir. Please repeat it again.
Pardon? Okay, you're not getting. Okay. So just I will just 1 minute. I will. Okay. So whenever we have to write a ZC, the first thing that you have to factorize it. The factors are not necessary. Comes only in the form of d minus md dash. Okay. Just a minute. not necessary, that will come in the form of d minus md dash only. Okay, not necessary, this is only the form. The general form is a d minus md dash minus c. So this is the form. So this is, here is a minus c. Okay, so that is general form. Now when we factorize it, we observed here we got two factor. One is a d. The first factor is d. For factor d, if you compare with this, you get, for this factor you get m is equal to 0, c is a 0, because only d is there. So d can be written as a d minus 0 d dash minus 0. So m and c are 0 for the first factor d. For the second factor is a d minus d dash plus 1. Okay, for this factor now, for this factor, if you compare with here, d as it is minus md dash. So m should be 1. M should be 1. And what about c? C should be, there is a plus 1. So as it is a plus 1, so c should be minus 1. Is that? C should be minus 1. If c is a minus 1, minus minus plus 1. So that about this one. So whenever d minus md dash minus c is a factor, d minus md, then cf is this one. This is the cf. This is cf. So for first factor, e raised to cx, that is e raised to 0x, e raised to 0x, f of y plus mx, m is also 0, so f1 of y plus 0x. So that about first factor. Second factor, again e raised to cx, so e raised to minus x should be there. There is correction. E raised to minus x, f2 of y plus mx. So that's one. So you get ZC is, the ZC is f1 of y only, because these are zeros there, no need to write it, and plus e raised to minus x, f2 of y plus x. That's one. This is the ZC there. Okay. So non-homogeneous is a more general case, and in this case you always compare it with the d minus md dash minus c, d minus md dash minus c, and then e raised to cx into f of y plus mx is the cf. Okay, so this is the important line. This is the important line where you have to compare and use it. So this is the most important point. That is the end of ZC. Is there any doubt still, anyone in a ZC? So if you've done the ZC part, so in ZC actually there is one correction. Here is e raised to minus x should be there, because we are comparing. So that is my correction in that PPT also, is minus x. Can anyone tell me how to get a ZP? What should be the step?
D1 and D dash 0.
Yes, d is equal to 1 and d dash by 0. Very good. So because we are comparing this exponential term with e raised to ax plus by, so we'll replace d by a. So here d by 1 and d dash by 0. Because we know for exponential case e raised to ax plus by, we replace d by a and d dash by b. So in this case we replace d by 1 and d dash by 0. That's one. That way we get a ZP here. So I'll show you the next step and you'll get that answer there. So at the end, ZC plus ZP is a complete solution. ZC plus ZP is a complete solution. That's one. So there is correction till end here. Here is a e raised to minus x. There is a f1 of y plus e raised to minus x, f2 of y plus x, plus e raised to x by 2. That's the final answer. Okay, so when you complete this writing, tell me, we'll move to the next question. So I'll give 1 minute to finish, 1 or 2 minutes, take it your time. Yes, are you completed? Can I show you the next question?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So example 2, I will read it. D square plus 2 into d dash plus d dash square minus 2d minus 2d dash of z equal to sine of x plus 2y. So that's a non-homogeneous because first three terms have the degree 2 and the last two terms have the degree 1. So it is non-homogeneous. So first part, find out the factors. Find out the factors and tell me so that you can write a CF. Yes, anyone? Any factors? Are you getting any factors here? Yes, very good, Swapnil. We should arrange the terms and we should take that as a common. So obviously, if you observe the first three terms there, just if you observe these first three terms there, it is a d plus d dash bracket square. And if you take minus 2 common, so grouping method generally used for non-homogeneous equation for factorization. So you should see the groups and find out the common terms so that you can factorize it. So the next term, you'll observe this is a d plus d dash bracket square, minus 2 is taken common, so d plus d dash throughout taken common. Yes, Neil, yes, you are correct. So at the end, we should compare this with d minus md dash minus c. Okay, and then e raised to 0x f1 of y minus x, that's correct. Here it should be plus 2. Okay, there is my correction. E raised to 2x is there. E raised to cx, e raised to cx f2 of y minus x. So this is the correction, and that about ZC. So this is the first part of the question. We got a ZC by comparing it with d minus md dash minus c. D minus md dash minus c, we get m is equal to minus 1, m as a minus 1, and c is equal to 2 there for the second factor I'm saying. And we can write it as a e raised to cx f of y plus mx. E raised to cx f of y plus mx is a CF. What about the ZP? How to get a ZP now? How to get a ZP? What should be done for getting a ZP? Yes, correct, Swapnil. It is a trigonometry, so we should replace d square by minus a square, d into d dash by minus ab, and d dash square by minus b square. And in this case, it is a sine of x plus 2y, which indicates, okay, let I first show you. Uh, this case indicates here, we should replace here d square by minus a square. So in this case, a is 1, so d square by minus 1, dd dash by minus ab, So that is minus 2, and d dash square by minus b square, that is minus 4. So these are the replacement. So first three terms we can replace there. That first three terms we can replace, and we get some simplified number. And after that, to remove the linear term, we should rationalize again. Just like LDE only, exactly same way like LDE. So I'll show you the remaining all steps here. So this is the complete solution, the final answer. So I will write which things I corrected here. So the corrected part is here, that is e raised to 2x plus 2x is there, and here d dash square we are replacing by minus 4, this d dash square, and because of that we left this term in the denominator. We rationalized it, multiplied by conjugate of the denominator, and then again we replace that d square, d dash and d dash square, same replacement this one, and at the end we get number answer here. So here is a e raised to plus 2x. That's the change. So anyone have any doubt, you can ask here. If anyone have any doubt, yes, chat. Yes, you can write it. I'm giving a time. Yes, or you can write down. Already I told about the question paper. Nothing is finalized, so you should not You should not actually waste your time on thinking on this part. One important thing you can do it. That you regularly visit on IMU website, because that is only the authentic way uh, to get the notice there. Or instead of wasting time for that also, whenever IMU decides something different pattern, they will first inform to all colleges, and once important notice received by our college, they will quickly inform everyone. So you should not worry about all these things. Okay, you should just focus right now on understanding, so that will be definitely better. 81 is outside the bracket. Which term you are saying? Where is 81? Yes, this one.
Fourth step.
Four step. Yes, outside there. Correct. Uh, mm,
Next step, it is
okay. That's a mistake. Correct. Very good. Good observation. So there is a correction in final answer. Then again, correct. So let me do it. Let me correct it, because this you'll observe this 81 is outside the bracket. This 4 is not multiple there. And later on, I taken that minus 81 here inside. So if it is if we want inside, it should be minus 81 by 4 then. Okay, this should be minus 81 by 4 then. So this is a 8, 9. So minus 36 minus 81. Minus 36 minus 81 upon 4. That 4 will get cancelled. And I think 120, 127. So denominator should be 127, is it? So this denominator should be 127. Is that correct? Yes, Neil. Is it correct now?
So 1 by 127 should also be multiplied by 3, na?
It should be multiplied by
3.
where?
Yeah.
Which step you are saying here?
Second last step.
Second last step. Uh, Here is a minus 127. Okay. Okay. So yeah, correct. I now after this, because I have taken 3 common, so 3 upon 127, na? 3 upon 127, and I think it is not divisible.
Yes, sir, not this.
So you can keep minus 3 upon 127. Minus 3 upon 127, correct. Minus 3 upon 127 is the final answer. So if you completed, tell me. If you've done 117, okay, addition is wrong. 80 plus 20, yes, 117 is the addition, correct. Okay, so so there are too many corrections, correct. So 80 plus 20 is 100, 110 and 117. So this correction is again there. And now I think it is divisible. 3 upon 117, is it divisible now?
Yes, sir. 1 by 39.
1 by 39.
9.
So the eraser. So final answer now, it is a final now, I think, minus 1 by 39. Minus 1 by 39, because here minus 3 upon 117 is there. So minus 1 by 39 is 1 by 39 is there. Okay, good. Good observation, Neil. Okay. Okay, so that about non-homogeneous case. Let me summarize. What we completed. So we started PD. Okay, we started this unit PD, partial differential equation. Main article is a method of solving PD. That is our main article. So exactly at the beginning, we seen direct integration. Generally, this direct integration method comes for 2 marks. Okay, and one example is like this: dou 2z by dou x dou y is equal to, say, xy square. So this is one of the example of a direct integration. If we have to solve this differential equation, just integrate with respect to x first and then with respect to y there, and we get the answer. So this method 1 we learned, that is for 2 marks there. After that, we started here higher order PDE. Okay, so let I change the ink. We started here this higher order PDE. Higher order. In the higher order, we have two things again. One is homogeneous, and other is a non-homogeneous. Yes, generally the factor for homogeneous comes in this form, d minus md dash only. That is a factor which coming there, and here the factor comes d minus md dash minus c. So corresponding yc we write it as f of y plus mx only, f of y plus mx. But here we write e raised to cx into f of y plus mx. So that about CF. That about the CF part. Yes, PI methods are same. PI methods are same for both the case, so there is not a problem. So we mainly completed this much of the part of the PD. Okay, that is, this one is a 2 marks. This part, homogeneous parts, mainly comes for 5 marks. This homogeneous PD comes for 5 marks. Non-homogeneous, as per the last 5 years question paper pattern, nothing is coming. So no weightage. It's a 0 marks. Okay. Generally, not a single question asked on non-homogeneous in last 4-5 years. Yes, in last 4-5 years, all questions on direct integration for 2 marks, and this for 5 marks there. Now, there is one more thing that we are going to start from the next session, and that's a first order PD. Okay, we left only one part now. This is the first order PD. First order PD. Now, in first order PD, we have only dou z by dou x and dou z by dou y. None of the second order or higher order partial derivatives will occur there. So the equations only contain dou z by dou x and dou z by dou y, that are P and Q only. Okay, so there are total 2 parts again. The first part, yes, we have linear first order PD, and that linear first order PD is known as a Lagrange's form. That is a Lagrange's form. Then we have another thing as a non-linear there. We have one more part. Okay, say non-linear, not visible, I think. Just I will change the ink. I will use again yellow. Non-linear. So in non-linear first order PD, there are 5 cases again. Okay, case 1, which contains only P and Q, means dou z by dou x and dou z by dou y. Case 2, which contains only the PQZ. Case 3, which contains XP and YQ only, that 4 variable. And there is 4th as a Clairaut's form. And the last case, 5th case, is a Charpitz form. Charpitz. Okay. Now, yes, you may think yes, too lengthy, but don't worry. These non-linear methods 1, 2, 3, 4, they are hardly of 1 or 2 session. Okay, because they are very simple. They are very simple. Just you have to observe the equation and write the answer. The answer is in 2 steps only. Now, which are the important again from this? Generally, this Charpit is the most important again. 5 marks question is always there on a Charpit's method in last 4-5 years. Every question paper contains 5 mark question on Charpit's method. Okay, and the remaining 5 mark question comes on these first 3 method plus Lagrange's. So that is also the 5 marks there. So these Lagrange's together with these 3 methods is a 5 marks. The question on Claret's never asked, that is again a 0 marks there, but if it comes in exam, that will come for 2 marks only, because it's one line answer only. Just you have to see the differential equation and write the answer in one line only. Okay, that way. So Claret's is one line answer only. So that about your entire syllabus of a PDE, okay, or entire topic PDE there. So this much of the part that you have. Is there any doubt, anyone?